all I need. 'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. Thought you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good, that's real good, that's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good, seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good, try me one more time, come now. I'm real good, I'm real good, I'm real good.
Always wanna shut me out, never wanna let me in. I guess it should've never been. We should've just stayed friends. Well, got me wishing that I still could love you when I still would. But you say you need space, you don't need me telling me you real good.
'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. Thought you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good, that's real good, that's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good, seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good, try me one more time, come now. I'm real good, I'm real good, I'm real good. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. A legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. A legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. Legacy built for the world to see. Making your attack on me, that's real good. Thought you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good, that's real good, that's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good, seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good, try me one more time, come now. I'm real good, I'm real good, I'm real good. I have given you the truth, showed up with the scars, time and time again. I'm there fighting for it, pain is your news. Baby, I'm not too far, yes.
Yeah, way too many regrets. Did what I wanted and paid the price. Started with love, then you had enough. If I could go back, I would make it right. I know you keep telling me that you're good. I wouldn't do all the things that I should. I couldn't believe you would leave me, now it's finally understood.
Showed up with the scars, time and time again. I am out there fighting for it. Pain is renewed, but baby, I'm not too far, yes. If all I'm left with is loss, if all I'm left with is grief, if all I'm left with me, then baby, that is all I need. 'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. Thought you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, don't you? That's real good, that's real good, that's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come on. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. That's real good, thought you had it in for me. That's real good, keep me well and down, won't you? That's real good, that's real good, that's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good, seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good, try me one more time, come now. I'm real good, I'm real good, I'm real good. Creates my wildest dreams, a legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams, a legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams, a legacy built for the world to see. Making no attack on me, that's real good. Thought you had it in for me, that's real good. Keep me rolling down, won't you? That's real good, that's real good, that's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good, seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good, try me one more time, come on. I'm real good, I'm real good, I'm real good. I have given you the truth, showed up with the scars. Time and time again I am out there fighting for it. Pain is your muse, but baby I'm not too far, yes.
Dark forces set their sights to take control over our lives. Hungry for power, thirsty for greed. Ignore our wants, ignore our needs. They'll force their way into domination to grow their power for their new creation. So when they push us down, we push back. Hey. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When they try to silence us, we speak back louder. United we are strong in the face of all that is wrong. So when they push us down, we push back. We push back. We rise up hand in hand. We rise. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. We will fight back. We will fight back. We'll fight back. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. Dark forces set their sights to take control over our lives. Hungry for power, thirsty for good. Ignore our wants, ignore our needs. They force their way into domination to grow their power for their new creation. So when they push us down, we push back. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When they try to silence us, we speak back louder. United we are strong in the face of all that is wrong. So when they push us down, we push back. Push back. And rise up hand in hand. We rise. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. We will fight back. We will fight back. We'll fight back. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all. When the hope is gone, look within yourself and to those you love. We hold the power to save the world. Our love conquers all.
It's a new decade, and technology is significantly advanced. Computers and common services such as grocery shopping, construction work, cooking, Intimate relationships are fully immersive through the revolutionary technology of Smith Laboratories. Founded by Dr. Kara Smith, the multi-trillion-dollar company is the main contributor to all modern advancements in virtual convenience and luxury. Completely immersive through an easily administered injection of highly developed nanotechnology to the base of the brainstem. All the user has to do is wait several minutes for the nanobots to travel through the nervous center of the brain. Once the new electronic receptors are in place, the user can access the vast virtual database of S.A.M.A.N.T.H.A, the main computer system, and have any service available for a monetary fee. Full of simulations, i.e. interplanetary vacation packages, Amazon-like store shopping, holographic chat rooms and clubs, everything you could ever need for a pleasurable existence is just a shot away. The world, now globally connected by one program, has finally seemed to transgress through century-long conflicts of endless wars, religious conflicts, and economic struggles. For your free consultation, contact Smith Laboratories today.
I have given you the truth, showed up with the scars. Time and time again, I am out there fighting for it. Pain is renewed, but baby, I'm not too far. Yes, if I'm left with this loss, if I'm left with this grief, if I'm left with me, then baby, that is all I need. 'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good.
Always wanna shut me out, never wanna let me in. I guess it should've never been. We should've just stayed friends. Well, got me wishing that I still could love you when I still would. But you say you need space, you don't need me telling me you real good.
'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. A legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. A legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. Legacy built for the world to see. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. I have given you the truth, showed up with the scars, time and time again, and I'm there fighting for it. Pain is your news, baby, I'm not too far, yes.
Yeah, way too many regrets. Did what I wanted and paid the price. Started with love, then you had enough. If I could go back, I would make it right. I know you keep telling me that you good. I wouldn't do all the things that I should. I couldn't believe you would leave me. Now it's finally understood.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are ready for this event like I am, then you're at the right place. I want to start out by saying thanks to everyone that has joined the stream, supporting me. This book is probably one of my most favorite projects just because it's something that I was able to create and build. If anyone in the chat wants to actually give me a thumbs up or a message, if you can hear me okay, things seem to be good. But if not, always shoot something in the chat and we will work on the volume and fix that issue. But everything looks like it's green. We should be good to go. So again, this is the simulation book release. This is my first fiction book. I've worked on this probably for about 2 years now. It's been an actual dream of wanting to do a fiction book ever since I came out with Inside of Perseverance, which is my first book, the autobiography. And then a couple of years after, I came up with Word to the Wise. That book was less of an autobiography, but more of kind of self-help, something that keeps you going. It's not even really related to somebody with a vision disability or just a disability in general. Not like Inside of Perseverance. Word to the Wise was for everybody else. Both books were for everybody, but that book was for everybody else. The next book is Kaylee's Big Adventure. So the little one, before she was even born, I wanted to work on a children's book to tell other kids that it's okay to be different. That was one of my books that actually touched me the most and actually touched more people in the fact that they were able to relate to that and kids were able to relate to that. So kind of fixing that systemic problem from being little and kind of growing up knowing that everybody's different. And of course, we've made it to Simulation, the fiction book. I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I want to introduce you to my co-host, Holly Jones.
Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? Hopefully everybody's doing well. You want to just start off with some questions tonight?
No, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about you. You know,
everybody knows who I am. Or they should be anyway.
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
Okay, that was the introduction. Let me check chat over here real quick. Chat looks good. No one is saying they have issues seeing the stream. Again, to actually do chat, if you're watching this from the website, there's a link down here at the bottom of the page. This link will take you straight to YouTube, and of course you need a Google account to get into the system, but you can always chat and talk with us because we're going to have a little bit of Q&A later within the stream. So, about this book, Simulation. Simulation is a fiction book that takes you to another world. And that's something that I was aiming for in this book. And we'll run through a couple of questions if you want to go a little bit in depth with that. But Simulation was one of the books that it allowed me to mix my technical skills and something that's in the real world. This is nowhere like a technical manual. It's more of getting you into the life of someone that's actually interacting with this technology daily. So you don't need a technical manual to actually read this book. It's something that anyone can relate to. It's something that grabs you. It actually makes you care about the characters. A lot of fiction books, because I read fiction books, but I read, Stephen King books and, the Id and, I watched the miniseries Stranger Things, and I'm into that horror genre. Like Oral Sign with the Goosebumps series. But what actually sets this book apart, and again, we have kind of a question Q&A for that, but this book, I think, creates a bond with you, the reader, and the characters. So while we're actually getting into the book, and we're going to run through some questions, and we're going to kind of go through a couple of questions, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the book. But the first thing I wanted to note, we're going to do a couple of drawing and giveaways. If you're on the Facebook page and you've seen the video last night, I actually talked about the Kindle white paper. I've never used one of these before, but I heard it was really cool. This is a tablet, but more for a tablet for readers. Yeah. You're not going to be able to play what's that fish game? Flappy? No, it's Flappy Bird. You're not going to be able to play. You might be able to play Flappy Bird on here. I'm not sure. But you won't be able to play like games and things on this, but this is for your avid reader right here. And to get your name in the drawing for that, after this stream, I want you to go to the website, neuralstitch.com. And on the website, I want you to go and do a pre-order for the book. I'm going to leave the pre-order up tonight. This is also on Amazon. The only cool thing with the pre-order, and again, that's just going to be up probably the rest of this weekend. I'll probably do it that way. What's cool thing about that is I get to sign your book. So whenever this becomes a Netflix series, you can say that you have a signature in your book. Another thing that I want to note here, as you see, me and Holly actually have on
the shirts.
Our shirts. So this shirt right here is Ubit Industries shirt. You'll find out more about Ubit Industries in the book. Here's another design of the shirt. And I think Holly has this design on, but this is another design on the shirt. And I'm actually coming up with more designs as kind of the story progresses. So these won't be the only shirt. So you're going to have a kind of a random shirt. But if you really like a certain shirt, just let me know. You can always shoot me an email. Or you can send me a Facebook message, and I can get you that actual shirt. So this shirt right here, it probably means nothing to you, PHRG. I'll touch a little bit on that from the book, just to give you an idea of what that shirt's actually for. And of course, Ubit Industries, this is my favorite shirt because it shows kind of the particles leaving someone as they get sucked into this technology.
Also, you guys, if you have any questions, just go ahead and type it in and we'll try to answer any questions you guys have or anything you want to just ask him.
Yep. So, you want to start out with some questions? But before, so we have the Kindle white paper.
Yes.
And we also have a couple of Echo Dots here if you guys are interested in it. So if you guys are watching and you're, relaxing, enjoying yourself, I'm going to do the same. and I'm gonna get me a little bit of something for more of a special occasion.
And this is a big occasion.
Yeah, this is a big occasion for the book. This is some Macallan special single barrel double oak casted Scotch. Did you want any?
Of course I do.
Or did you? I mean,
I got options.
I got some wine and some. I got some wine and some water. If you want some water.
I don't want water.
You don't want water?
No.
Okay.
Oh, guys, he got ice too.
Yeah, I brought ice. I brought my little special cooler because this is gonna be it's gonna be exciting. We should have fun.
Yeah. So let's make it awesome.
Let's see. Yeah, that smells good.
Does it really smell that good, Christopher?
Yeah, I think so. You want to fill your cup up?
No, I don't.
I can't tell when your cup is full, so I'm going to keep going until I get back.
Sarah gave me those.
Sarah?
Yeah,
Oh,
Sarah
if Sarah's watching, thank you very much, Sarah, because, see, I can't tell where it ends at, so she probably has a lot more than me. But it's all good. So, what questions do you have? And again, if you have any questions, shoot them in the chat, and I will get back with you, and we will answer them.
Sarah just sent a message. She says she wants her book hand delivered.
Hand delivered?
Hand delivered.
We can do it hand delivered. Even when I'm packing these books, guys, I got some Germ-X. I got me some masks. I mean, I got some stuff. So none of that COVID stuff is going to be in these books.
So, okay, let's start out with this. So, how do you think that's like affected your book, or have it affected anything with the production of it?
So, COVID's been something that's interesting, of course, because no one expected us to get to this point where there's a lockdown, where we're not even supposed to have so many people in a room. Because what I love the most as an actual author is being able to see the people that are reading my books. That's the most touching thing about the entire process of writing. So again, anybody can write a book, anybody can promote a book, but the thing that sets, my book apart and what makes excitement from when you read it, I get to see you go through the same journey, whether it's a self-help book, children's book, or an awesome fiction book. So COVID has affected me being able to do that, me being able to interact with you. I actually had a couple of sci-fi conventions planned to go to, gaming conventions, because if you keep watching the site, there may be a VR game that's going to show up there pretty soon that makes you feel like you're in a similar environment that you'll soon read in the book. So doing things like that is really fun, and being able to showcase those things is really exciting. So again, COVID has affected the book a little bit, but not really the book, but more of me being able to go out and promote and meet the readers that are reading my book.
Yeah, because tonight was supposed to be like a huge party here for the release.
Go ahead.
So are you excited about your first fiction book?
Yes. Excitement doesn't really give it, it's not really a name for it, because excitement is more of, man, this is awesome, I did this thing. But I think what I did was I built something that it's not just going to end here. This is a fiction book, but what I did when I built this book is I started creating a world. I started creating characters that people care about when they're reading. So excitement is more of, yes, this is exciting, but the excitement was when I came up with the idea and when I started writing it. But I'm excited every time I pick up a project or something that deals with this book, because it's so exciting.
So do you think the people are going to be able to relate to the characters in the book?
Yes. being able to relate to the characters in the book is more of, a lot of us are living that right now. Whoever has, Amazon Echo in their house, whoever has an Android phone, there's Google. Mm-hmm. Whoever has an Apple, there's Siri. So we've already been thrown into this world that this book is portraying. I just want to actually show the readers what could happen, and most likely what will happen as we move forward the same way that we're moving now.
Okay.
So another thing about the excitement of the book. So for any of you that actually was on the stream a little bit early, you actually heard a couple of tracks. Those tracks aren't anybody else's tracks. Those are soundtracks for this book. And that's something else that sets this book apart. I had a chance to work with some great artists, Kim Diaz-Smith, Tissa Rahim, Burton M6, a really good group of individuals, as well as some great audio producers. So not only did I write this fiction book, but I was also able to produce music.
Ideals. Okay.
And producing music allowed me to come up with something that is kind of evolving.
Yeah, but you love music, though.
Yes, that's another thing is I love music, so it came hand in hand when I came up with the soundtrack. I was like, that's the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to put some music with it. But creating music and coming up with music that melds with the book really well is something that is just it's kind of magical once you start reading the book and you go back and listen to those tracks. Every track is special. Again, I'm going to continue to actually come up with tracks for this book, as well as more pieces within this project.
So you said this soundtrack pretty much has to do with everything with the book, like the storyline?
Yes.
Okay. So what age group is this book for?
This book is good for users that or readers that are probably 18 and above. There's some questionable language in it, but that's just because these are characters that we're actually building. So these are adults that we're actually building. And when you're reading this book, you're going to start to see maybe an absence of the same age group that this book is actually made for.
Oh.
Or that's not made for. So you're not going to find many characters in here that are under the age group that should be reading this book. It's not anything bad in the book. It's just, this is how we talk. And this is how we communicate. And this is how we relate fear and anger and so on and so forth. So this is something that is kind of paramount to this book and the age group. A lot of people may not pull that out of the initial reading, like when they read it, but that's something that I did pull out of there was it's not made for every age group. Tanisha, we got some. I just seen your chat. I got some water right here. You're right. I'm gonna get me a little.
Well, he's gonna get that, and I'm gonna get this. Okay, it's been a long day.
Oh yeah. So, what is the next question? And I also have some questions coming through. So if you know me personally, you can always shoot me a text and I'll get to those questions as well. But priority is, the Facebook and YouTube and, again, chat.
So what sets this book apart from any other book that's on the market?
We just said that.
Well, I'll
Okay.
go more into it.
So, what sets this book apart is, again, this book is coming from the aspect of someone that's in the field of technology, AI. I live this stuff. I write this stuff as a programmer, developer. I know the capabilities of, technology. So for me to actually write that into the book, that's what I kind of want readers to know is this isn't really far-fetched. It's more of, if we go the same route that we're going as kind of humanity and dealing with AI and technology and not taking a step back and actually realizing what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we can control it, we run into, these issues of what's in simulation. All right. So
will this be like the final book, or we have like side stories to it, like to tell more about the different characters?
Yes. So if you haven't went to the site already, it's neuralstitch.com. So on that site, I'm going to continue to grow this world. There will be side stories. I actually have a great deal of side stories already that I'm working on pushing to the editors. Once my editors start looking at it and ensure that everything's good, everything's pretty. Because one thing about creating side stories is I don't want it to be a chore for you to go in and read the side stories. I want you to say, I really like this character, but I need to know more. And you may not always know what side story what side story that the character and the side story, you might not know which one you're reading at that time, because it's going to be more of a picture. I'm going to give you a little, pretty art. It's kind of like mini books, but most of the side stories probably won't go over, 2,000, 3,000 words, just because I want you to have like little bitty bits and pieces of the story, but I want to fill in anything that's missing. So when you get done with this book, I'm sure you will want to go and read some side stories. So another thing that I will do is, if you share the Facebook page with a couple of your friends, I just want to see a share the Facebook page or share the link, and you tag me in it, or you tag the simulation page, I'm going to give you a free side story.
Oh, that's awesome. So
you can go to the site and you'll have a coupon code, and that coupon code will probably work for any side story. But this is just going to give you an idea of what to expect from these side stories. It's not a book, but I think the amount of side stories that I'm going to come up with will, in theory, be another book. But it's going to be very fragmented, because you're going to be looking at these individual people's lives. So it's not going to build the entire picture. You're going to get snippets.
Like a background?
A little bit of a background, but just a taste of who this character is, how they interact in the world, and mainly what got them there.
Okay, we have a question. What gave you this idea? What clicked that said, "Oh, I'm going to do this"?
Okay, so this is Regina. So Regina, what clicked with creating this side story is, I always wanted to do a side story, and the side story that I had, which still may come, because I really, really like working on fiction books, just because fiction allows you to kind of open up. But what really clicked with me wanting to write this book and come up with this idea is because I see it coming true. Which, it may sound really weird that, this is a fiction book, but you see the things coming true. It's not going to come true in the same fashion of, it's going to be like chaos or pandemonium.
Okay.
It's going to be more of the same things that we said may happen are actually happening. So what company is going to control all this AI? In the book, it's Ubit that could be controlling all of this stuff. It could be other organizations that are controlling all this stuff. It could be Google. It could be Facebook. Who's going to have the most data that can control our lives? That's kind of what made me write this, because I like horror. So the book also goes into a little bit of not really a horror approach, but more of a surreal approach to, man, how could this happen? This is very graphic, but to make something very graphic, it actually brings you, again, more into the story and, again, caring about the environment that you're in.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about, like, I'm really into Audible books. So is that something we can talk more about?
Yes. So what I can do is I can actually play a little bit of the audiobook.
Okay.
The audiobook will be releasing TBA. Right now it's going through, again, quality control through Audible, because I am releasing exclusively with Audible, just because you get a lot of perks as a reader by, again, having an Amazon account. So you get this a little bit cheaper, of course. So it's just kind of a win-win for all of us.
And I love Audible. My little Audible Club books, yes, I love them. They're awesome.
So again, if you pre-order the book, you still get your signed copy, but it's going to be a little bit different, because the audiobook is something completely different. It's something that it's just not you reading the book. So you can read through this book and then go through the Audible book, and you're going to have a different perspective, just because the characters are built a little bit more, because they have kind of their own life. They have their own tone. They have their own personality that's really hard to read. You kind of build that with your imagination, but when it comes to having someone read that and narrate that to you, it's just on a whole nother level.
And I would say, like, I really enjoyed, what is his name that actually that's doing the Audible?
Yeah.
Henry.
Yeah, it's Henry. So Henry has actually been on a couple of movies, actually.
Yeah.
I have that posted in the Facebook page, as well as one of the Harry Potter books. Yeah. I think it was like the third movie. He actually did a little bit of voiceover in there for one of the characters. It's probably a smaller scene, but again, having someone that has that background of being able to read and bring out the characters is something is something that's amazing. So if you guys like, I'm going to get you a little bit of a sample of what this would sound like.
Simulation. Intelligence is no longer artificial. By Chris Jones. Chapter 1. Daphne Harburn awoke in her bed as she did every morning. Yawning, she stretched one shaky arm across the stale sheets to a U-shaped vial that lay on her end table. Holding the clear tubing up to the bright rays of sunshine that leaked in from her naked bedroom window, Daphne watched hazily as the fluorescent blue content of the canister hypnotically swirled and clouded the curving prism of glass. Letting out a long sigh, she placed the vial's two open ends up her nostrils and pressed the release button. Like cold steam, she could feel the blue vapour travel up her nose and into her lungs as she inhaled deeply. Holding her breath for the recommended 5 seconds, she exhaled and slumped back into bed. Within seconds, Daphne was online. A 26-year-old college dropout, Crippling student loan debt have forced Daphne to move in with her mother on the east side of town known as the Lines, due to the economical mark of shame that scarred each of its occupants. The Lines was a 20 by 18 block radius of multi-tiered, low-income housing built generously by Ubit Industries over 30 years prior. Its main purpose was to lodge those unfortunate enough to fall below the government-sanctioned poverty line, providing free rent, utilities, and internet access to all its residents. Seen as the ultimate act of fiscal selflessness, Ubit was heralded by all at the time as the most charitable multi-billion-dollar company to ever exist. Founded by brilliant scientist Dr. Kara Smith, Ubit used its millions of dollars in profits and investments made on pioneering AI software to give back to those in need. In doing so, those millions quickly turned to billions. Ubit and its founder became more universally regarded and respected than the Red Cross, Greenpeace, and Habitat for Humanity combined. By 2051, each major city in America had these designated rent-free sectioned housings, a nice slice of the American pie that was neatly cut out just for the disenfranchised. Finally, no one had to be lesser than. This ideology of people before profits didn't take long to spread around the world. Soon, every city of every nation had its own neat section of the Lines. Or, at least that was what they wanted you to think.
So guys, that was a little bit of what the audiobook will sound like. Henry did a great job on doing the audio for this book.
For each character, he did.
For each character, every character has their own, literally, tone and kind of personality, and it comes from this one guy. And this book actually, it has a couple of characters. Some characters are important and some are passing by, but he did a really great job. And anything within this series that I want to actually point out, so when you get your book, if you order this book, you'll actually see that we have phase 1 on here. That's actually a clue. Sometimes you have additions, sometimes you have versions, but that's a really good key indicator to kind of what's to come with just the start of simulation.
Okay. I have another question. They want to know if they can get both. Can they do the book and I guess the Audible?
Yes. So there's a question of if you can get the book and if you can get the Audible copy. And the answer is yes. So one thing that you can do is you can get all 3, because this is also available as an ebook as well. So thus kind of giving you the e-reader, you'll be able to put your book on there. Of course, if you're the winner, so you got to go out and do the pre-order so you can get your physical signed copy. But one thing that Amazon has when you buy the Kindle version, you do get an option to include the audiobook version as well. And Amazon kind of combines these together.
Yes.
So as you're reading your ebook, you get the audiobook with it. And that's something that I think it's called X-Ray that Amazon actually offers. And that's another reason why I want to go exclusively with Amazon. And then you'll, of course, get it on the Apple Store, and then Nook. Is Nook still around? I think Barnes & Noble is still around. I'm not sure if they're still building their Nooks, but eventually you'll be able to get it on any ebook reader or possibly download it from the site. But exclusively for the Amazon part, hooking the Audible and the ebook together, that's kind of where the exclusivity comes from.
Sarah said, congratulations. She said, holy shit. She's like, she loves the Audible, the voice.
Oh, yeah, I actually had a whole bunch of people audition. There's one person that, if you go to the website, there is a book review, a little bit of spoilers, but she's also going to do a little bit of audio pieces for me as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the side stories that way because there's so many side stories. Because I plan on literally not stopping with these, but kind of adding to them, and having someone do that audio recording again would make it more expensive for me to even bring you the short story, because there's more cost involved. I think I got a message from someone.
Yeah, she wants to know is that the actual voice we're going to use? The answer is yes. That's the actual voice that's going to be available on Audible.
Yes. So I have a thing with one, British accent. So I purposely picked that British person to audition for this. And you'll actually find out later in the actual book here. So let me see if I can actually point it out here. I don't know if anybody will actually catch this, but this shirt actually has a couple of symbols within the shirt that actually tells a little bit of the story as well. Because there's a group that was actually affected first. So the company that kind of started this all, they came from a certain area, they had a certain religion, and the first mishaps actually started with kind of that group. It's not singling out a group, but it's more of a regional thing. So I know it was a long question to go around to the, is that the voice we're going to use? But yes.
Yes, it is. And we went through all the questions.
We go through all the questions, yeah. Even Regina's questions?
Yes.
All right. So let me check the YouTube. So somebody was getting a little bit of an echo. That was probably from earlier. I think somebody said that they had a little bit of a mute going on. So we actually had the audio from the book reading as well as our mic. So that created the echo there. Should be good now. Again, I'll probably have this posted so you guys can also go and look at this later. And then I'll find the spot that it was echoing and I'll clean it up for you if you wanted to actually hear the audiobook. Or you can buy the audiobook when it comes out and you can hear the entire thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, another question just off the top of my head. How long did it take you to come up with the book?
So, I mean, I kind of said at the beginning. So the book took about 2 years kind of from beginning to end. And again, the book really hasn't ended yet. I'm actively writing things on this book right now. So again, you're in phase 1. So there's tons of side stories that you're actually going to get a taste of the actual characters. So it started about 2 years ago, but the end is not really ending because I'm literally actively writing on this. Today I completed another piece of one of the side stories, which is amazing that I'm able to continue to build these characters in this book. So you hear about them and you hear them and you follow them through this story, but the side stories won't touch a lot of the main characters as much because I don't want to ruin your whole experience, but I want to build the world around them. So having it, from that 2 years back, it was just the basic, this is how I want this story to be. And then from that, it actually grew to how can I make this an experience and not just any other book that you get. This is going to be something that, again, is going to be different from any book that I think you've read before, just because not many authors take this approach. They jam all of the stuff in one book or 2 books. or like the Harry Potter series, they have a lot of books, but there's always that what if? What did we leave out of the book that we needed to add? How did we need to fill that gap? So as the story builds, you never have that buyer's remorse. It's more of, it's not over because we're in this living environment. So this book takes that approach of being in a living environment and being able to literally live with the characters. It's almost like a soap opera, because soap operas, everybody wants to watch All My Children and General Hospital.
You went way back.
And Days of Our Lives. If you guys don't know, that don't come on anymore?
I don't think so. If it does, I think it's it's online.
So if you guys don't know what Days of Your Life is, General Hospital, All My Children. So these are these are soap operas. So the book isn't like this dramatized soap opera, but it's something that the reason people watch soap operas were because they wanted to follow the characters' lives. They wanted to see what was going on from day to day. I think, if I can remember, because my mom made me watch All My Children when I was little. So there was this lady, I think her name was Amy. She had red hair, but she was always like kind of skitzing out. So she had so many different personalities. So you had to literally watch her for at least 2 or 3 weeks to figure out who she's going to betray or what she's going to do. So that's kind of the premise that I took of this is a living project. It's not just a book. This is a book to get it started. So simulation, you got to read this piece because this is the beginning.
And you guys, it's really a good book. It really is. And I'm not just saying that it's because my husband wrote it, but it's a really good book. And I did ask questions about it as I was reading it. But he lied to me, you guys. He lied. Horrible. But we're not going to get into that. Right?
No, I didn't lie.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
So remember, at the end of the stream, if you go and pre-order your book, of course you get a t-shirt. You have some sizes in there. If I don't have your size, you can always shoot me a message and I can get your size. But when you order it from Amazon, of course, you will not get a shirt. And it will not be signed. But these books will actually have my signature in it. You will be entered into the drawing to get the white paper or the echo. And there's multiple echoes, actually. So it just won't be one echo that you can win. There will be more.
So how long are you going to leave the pre-order for?
The pre-order probably will only stay open until Monday. So
okay.
It'll end, is that the 1st?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll end the 1st, and then you'll have to get it from Amazon. But you don't have to get it from Amazon if you actually want a signed copy. There also will be a place to order the book outside of Amazon on my website. I'll do a couple of these kind of for book signings. So today is more of, this is the release party. This is kind of the beginning of this whole thing. Since we are dealing with the COVID situation, I can't go out and actually physically be there with you guys, but I will actually start getting on some podcasts, start actually doing some interviews with some readers after they read it, to give them a sense of like belonging into this world.
Okay. So, are you going to do the drawing on the 1st, or are you going to wait till the 2nd to do the drawing?
The drawing probably will happen on the 2nd. Okay. I want to give people a chance to be able to go on and get their order in, or if they had some issues with their order, to message me. And it's the 1st. A lot of us get paid on the 1st, so sometimes, people might want to say, hey, I couldn't do it then, but can I still do this? Because,
okay.
it happened at the end of the month. And usually, that's usually when nobody really has a lot of funds. So that's something that I will take into account, and I'll look. And if I get a whole bunch of requests to leave it open a little bit longer, I will. Because you do get these awesome shirts. I really like these shirts. I really like the designs. And I'll continue to come up with other designs for this book so you can actually represent simulation. Did we get another question in?
I don't think so.
We got 2 questions. Let me check YouTube.
Jacqueline said you did an amazing job.
Oh, okay.
She wants to know how she can purchase one.
So if you need to purchase the book, if you go to neuralstitch.com, it's like the neural that's in your head, and then stitch, like stitching something together. And I'll probably kind of tell you how I came up with that name. I own that .com name because the initial, and you'll actually see this in some of the side stories as well. So the company that eventually came out with this AI system, they did a lot of experiments. And one of their experiments was actually stitching a kind of a microcontroller or a chip, like a computer chip, in someone's mind. So neural stitch. That's kind of where it started at. So the site is kind of this is where you go to get book information, but it's also kind of this lost place that you can go and find a lot of information. So one of the side stories, I'm not going to tell you which one it is because I kind of want you to go based off of kind of the summary of it as well as the picture, because I take a lot of time on kind of building special covers for even the side stories, not only the book but the side stories as well. But there's an individual that's in one of the side stories that they see some pretty interesting things, and that's kind of where the name Neural Stitch came from. So that is neuralstitch.com. You can go there and you can order the book, or you can go to Amazon and get it straight from there, but you will not get, of course, the signed copy or the shirt.
Yeah, one of your people looked like she had already ordered it on Amazon. She didn't know about the free shirt.
So if you already ordered it on Amazon, and this is going to be until the 1st because you're still kind of with the pre-orders. So if you already ordered it on Amazon, if you send me a message, which I already have one message and one question, I'll still get you a shirt. So you'll still get a shirt. It'll just be separate. So you'll get the book, of course, from Amazon, and then you will get the shirt separate. And if you would like me to sign your book, you have to send me your book and then I sign it. That's kind of how you do that. So if you want your book immediately, because I think right now it is live, so you can hit Amazon up and literally get the book. And I think it'll be delivered. Was it a 1-day delivery?
Yeah, it was 1-day delivery.
So they have 1-day delivery. Publishers get a special package when we order books. We get kind of a whole slew of books. We get hardback covers. We get other things with the version that we order. So that's where everyone's books are that are actually doing the pre-orders. Those books will start mailing out next week with your shirts.
She took 2 thumbs up.
All right. Any other questions from anybody? Let me check the YouTube channel here. I don't see any other questions. So, did you have anything that you wanted to relay to everyone?
No, I think we covered pretty much everything about the book that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, the one big thing I am excited about is the Audible book. I am very pleased with that, and I love the voice. And I want to just say the voice is everything when it comes to an Audible book. They have to be able to like deliver the story.
Right. So remember, I said it earlier. What did I say earlier about the Facebook thing and sharing the post? I want to give something else away. So I'm going to do something on the fly here. You got to keep notes of it. I'm going to have to go back and look at the video again. So everybody that's watching right now, if you go and share either the website or you share the Facebook page, or you share that you purchased the book, and you have to make sure that I'm there somewhere or tagged somewhere in that post. I'm going to put you in a drawing to win probably another Echo Dot, because I have multiple Echo Dots here. So that'll be an Echo Dot. And you'll be put into a drawing. So everybody that does the post will not get an Echo Dot. It'll be the people kind of in a drawing. Whoever goes and does the post, you'll be selected through an artificial intelligent, randomly generated system that picks your name out. So there's not really any favorites. Just go out there and kind of promote it. And again, if you guys really like it and you buy the book, and it's the one that I send to you and not Amazon, I really, really want you to go and put an Amazon review. So go ahead and review that book. You can review that book as just an Amazon customer. What that's going to do is just give readers an idea of what to expect when they read this book. Something that I've encountered, which there's a whole bunch of pre-reviews that are also on Goodreads. So if you guys actually go to Goodreads and you can search for this book, and you can find some of the pre-release reviews there, because I have to send it through kind of this peer review thing and be blessed by other authors and criticized and so on and so forth based on what they thought of the story. So everyone that has read it so far, it was something that they couldn't put down. A lot of people that didn't actually go and do the extra research. So at the back of everybody's book, there's also a website. So remember, so if you forget the website, at the back of the book, there is a website. So always check that website, because I'm going to constantly be putting things there that will allow you to kind of stay engaged into this whole story, into this whole world.
Dominique says she's so excited for you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dominique. This was fun and exciting, and expect a lot more from this series.
Miss Serena also says congratulations on the launch of your new book.
Thank you, Serena, and I hope you already got your copy, or at least ordered it. At least I'm ready to sign it, and I can't wait to see what you guys actually think about this story. Again, it's exciting for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Any more questions? Oh, I almost forgot.
What did you forget?
I mean,
he's so excited, y'all.
There's this cupcake place. I wanted to order like cakes, but with like the picture on the book, but I couldn't order the cake. So this is a cake company out of Allen called Blissful Cupcakes. But they have all kind of cupcakes, guys. These are gourmet cupcakes.
Oh. That one looks really good.
No, that one's mine.
You know, have a little cupcake.
So you guys can't eat any of these, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out if the company will not really sponsor me, but give me some kind of a discount or anything. So if they do, I will post some kind of discount code so you guys can check this place out. They have really good cupcakes. This was from the same cupcake. Remember when they had that big giant like outside event? I think in Allen. Yeah, this is that same company. They just have like a storefront now.
Okay.
So even on the Facebook page, they didn't pay me for it, but I'll put their website there if you want to go there and actually order some. But after we get off from the live, sorry for the sound. I'm going to eat some of these, and it'll probably pair really well with scotch, right?
Don't forget your water, like Tanisha said. Don't forget.
Oh, that water gone.
Yeah.
So, guys, again, thank you for joining the live stream. Of course, I will do kind of virtual book signings from here on out, so there'll be some more of these. But it'll be more of me kind of signing the book as well as jumping on a couple of podcasts. I have a couple of other authors that I had help with kind of editing, and they're really good, and they've released a couple of books as well. So we're going to have a little bit of a kind of an author podcast where we kind of talk back and forth. I'm going to be on theirs, and then I'm going to kind of stem one from this. So if you guys like this, just let me know. Leave a comment in the live on the YouTube side, just so I know that this is something that you're interested in. But again, thank you all for coming to the stream. And do you have anything that you want to say before we adjourn?
We're just greatly appreciative of everybody that joined in tonight. Just thank you guys. We greatly appreciate it.
Yes. So again, if you have any questions, if you would like more information about the book, always shoot me a message, because this is something that I want us to kind of have this community going. So if you like the book, if you like the side story, if you get done with the book and you want to know where I stay, I'm online. No, that's not bad. The book is great. Just remember, there is side stories. And once you get done with this book, I want to leave you kind of with this premise of what to expect. There's a reason that the music is there. The lyrics actually mean something. It's not some random person singing. The lyrics literally mean something for everything. The side stories mean everything. So this isn't some puzzle, but it's a book on kind of another level of, this isn't your everyday book that you pick up. It's something that is evolving, and something that is evolving somewhat rapidly, but it's also evolving in a way that it's bringing you guys in as readers. So as I start to find more people are interested in more characters, you start learning more about that character. So it's more of sourcing your own story, not from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, so on and so forth from the book, but more from these side stories of how this world is going to grow. All right. I think that is it. Again, thank you guys for joining the live stream. And if you have any questions, be sure to send me a message. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Also, congrats on our astronauts that flew from U.S. soil. And I think they're somewhere orbiting up above us now. And I think they're going to actually connect with the space station tomorrow. So I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, I love that. I love that we were able to do that. I love that SpaceX was able to do that. You know, there's the whole SpaceX and Tesla and artificial intelligence. The guy that made the rocket that sent these astronauts or made these self-driving cars also has an artificial intelligence company that will stitch microchips in your head to connect with AI. So that's kind of something to think about.
Off the cut.
All right. So again, thank you guys for joining the stream, and you have a great night.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Showed up with the scars, time and time again, I am out there I'm left with is lost, if I'm left with is grief, if I'm left with me, then baby, that is all I need. 'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good.
Always wanna shut me out, never wanna let me in. I guess it should've never been. We should've just stayed friends. Well, got me wishing that I still could love you when I still would. But you say you need space, you don't need me telling me you real good.
'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. A legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. A legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams. Legacy built for the world to see. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it in for me, that's real good. Kick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. I have given you the truth, showed up with the scars, time and time again. I'm there fighting for it. Pain is your news, baby. I'm not too far.
Yeah, way too many regrets. Did what I wanted and paid the price. Started with love, then you had enough. If I could go back, I would make it right. I know you keep telling me that you're good. I wouldn't do all the things that I should. I couldn't believe you would leave me. Now it's finally understood.
Showed up with the scars, time and time again. I am out there fighting for it. Pain is renewed, but baby, I'm not too far. Yes, if all I'm left with is lost, if all I'm left with is grief, if all I'm left with me, then baby, that is all I need. 'Cause everything about us is filled with light and love. Making your attack on me, that's real good. That you had it for me. That's real good. Pick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. That's real good. Thought you had it in for me. That's real good. Pick me while I'm down, won't you? That's real good. That's real good. That's real good. Look me in the eyes, won't you? I'm real good. Seems like a surprise to you. I'm real good. Try me one more time, come now. I'm real good. I'm real good. I'm real good. Creates my wildest dreams, a legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams, a legacy built for the world to see. Destiny creates my wildest dreams, a legacy built for the world to see. Making no attack on me, that's real good. Thought you had it in for me.